All verse rising, soul fam, all verse rising. So let me tell you something, man. Me personally, I don't like when individuals always try to impose themselves on me to not go for something that I would like to do, and always forcing me to do something that doesn't suit my purpose, right? Let's say, for example, right? Let's say my own mother try to impose me to stay in Louisiana, right? And me knowing how racist white folks are in Louisiana, and how all these heckling ass, racist ass, cockroach, pig ass, raccoon looking ass white police officers will always try to harass me and shit. And there's no fun activities to do in Louisiana or any southern state. And it's no vibrant, soulful people in the southern states or Louisiana the way it's vibrant people out in the eastern states like New Jersey, Rhode Island, New York, Pennsylvania, and western states like Nevada and California and Oregon and Arizona. If my own mother try to impose me and try to downplay me to stay in southern states, especially Louisiana, I would shake my head and be like, why? Because my purpose is for something else. My purpose is to be with vibrant people out in the eastern and the western states of USA, or be with vibrant, soulful people in the Middle Eastern and African and Caribbean countries. You know, like, bro, like if anybody tries to impose themselves on me and downplay things that I would like to do, and they don't want me to do them, they always try to keep me down in the southern states to suffer, and I miss out on vibrant people that will love me to be around them every day out in the eastern locations, in the western locations, in United States. They need to let me be. They need to let me be. Like, seriously. Like, I hate when individuals try to impose themselves on me, man. That's like when individuals try to force a asexual person to be homosexual or heterosexual, but the asexual person is cool with being asexual because that's what they are. That's what they like, man. So, like, for example, like if an individual try to impose themselves on me to force me to give up on my godly purpose, which is to close the chapter on locations that don't serve me at all, that don't serve my well-being, that doesn't really help my health, and it makes me lose my sanity. Because the southern states, especially Louisiana, it makes me lose my sanity, soul fam. Louisiana will make a spiritual being lose their sanity, like, for real. And look, man, I got family members who grew up in Louisiana because they had white family members in their family tree. And that's the reason why I grew up in the southern states like racist ass Louisiana. And look, man, I closed my damn chapter in the southern states. And this is the reason why I don't like it when anybody try to impose themselves on me to stay in the southern states, when the southern states was never meant for melanated people. It never was. That shit was for white folks, them fucking Ku Klux Klan slave owners from Europe. And a lot of my family members who grew up in the southern states because of their white family members don't get the damn shit. That's the reason why I wish I had African. That's the reason why I wish a lot of my family members were African and Caribbean and Middle Eastern people as the family tree first. That I would have never had to experience all the racist ass shit in the racist ass South. Do you realize that the southern states is a slave state? Do you realize the things that you can do in New York and New Jersey and Rhode Island, you cannot do that shit in the southern states? All the stuff that you can do in Venice Beach, California, the stuff that you can do in Berkeley, San Francisco, Oakland, California, Sacramento, the stuff that you can do in Portland, Oregon, the stuff that you can do in Phoenix, Arizona, you cannot do that shit in the southern states, especially Louisiana. The only people who like Louisiana are the people that was birthed there. The people that are so-called Saints fans and Tulane fans, ULM fans, and fucking LSU fans. But I'm neither of those. I don't fuck with Louisiana. It's racist as fuck. And a lot of these damn melanated Masons, melanated Catholics, melanated fraternity people, they don't see what the fuck I'm saying. So like here's my thing, man. This is why I don't like when individuals do. If a spiritual being told certain individuals that they want to close the chapter in the South, those people that try to downplay that spiritual being needs to let them close the chapter in the South and let them move on to the East or whatever location that they're going to on planet Earth. Like if I told my family members I'm closing my chapter in the South, don't try to downplay me and impose yourself on me to stay in the South. Let me be. Let me be away from the South, because the South doesn't serve a spiritual being like me well. And also I'm melanated skin, like literally. I am melanated skin. Like I'm dark skinned to be exact. Like a lot of my family members thought I was a fucking white person. So they shipped me to the South when I was birthed out in the damn western states of USA. And I'm one of the few family members who know my damn Caribbean and African and Middle Eastern lineage. One of the very fucking few. While everybody else is on some European shit. And that's why they want to keep me in the South, because they don't want, a lot of my family members don't want me to actually be with my damn Caribbean African lineage. Because there's a lot of African lineages out in New Jersey, New York. You ever heard of Jamaica, Queens? There's a lot of African, Caribbean, Mexican lineage in California, in Nevada, in Arizona, in Oregon. Like seriously, I don't like it. Like imagine this. Just imagine whether you a daughter or a son of a father and a mother, and your father and mother try to impose themselves on you to stay in the South. But really, you really want to have a new chapter to be out in the Eastern locations or Western locations or whatever location with these spiritual beings that suit your frequency, that suit your talent, because you want to pursue your talent in other locations. You want to do fun things with spiritual beings in other locations because you know that the South is not for you, especially if you're a melanated spiritual being, but your father and your mother's not letting you do that. So it makes you feel suicidal, like literally. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't like it when fathers and mothers try to impose themselves on their children to not actually let them connect with spiritual beings that's in a whole nother region. Because there is a reason why a lot of melanated people, and to be exact, a lot of melanated spiritual beings, they don't want anything to do with the southern states of USA. They know it's racist. They know it's crap. They know it's a shithole. It's tore up. You know? I know Louisiana is fucking tore up. It's the most tore up southern state out of all the southern states. So like, I don't like when fathers and mothers try to impose their whitewashery southern ideals onto their damn children. I don't like that shit, man. I know my mother, she grew up in the southern states because of white people lineage that she was birthed into. You know, so if I was to be out in Rhode Island or a Middle Eastern state or a state in the African countries, a state in the Caribbean countries, she wouldn't know how to operate because she never been there, because her family's never been there. You gotta comprehend, like me as a melanated person, I'm supposed to be in an African, Caribbean, in a Middle Eastern country. That's where a lot of my skin color people came from anyways. A lot of my skin color people did not come from USA, to be exact. But man, let me tell y'all something, man. I just do not like when individuals try to impose themselves onto other people to try to downplay them for closing a chapter on something that's not serving them well. That doesn't make no sense. How are they supposed to actually enjoy their life if an individual is always trying to impose themselves onto them on what to go for and not to go for. Like if an individual felt like they need to go to another location in order to be happy, I feel like those individuals need to let them be and let them go to another location. If someone told me that they want to go to Oklahoma, they want to go to fucking Iowa or Minnesota somewhere, I let them go. I don't try to downplay them. I don't try to like impose myself onto them and try to be like, oh, don't go there. There's a reason why they had intuition to go there. So if I had an intuition to go somewhere, I don't want someone to impose themselves onto me and try to like force me to stay in locations that's not serving me well. Because I could tell you right now, like me as a melanated person, I don't want anything to do with any Southerners at all in the Southern states, especially these racist ass white people in the damn South. Why should a melanated person like me deal with that bullshit with racist ass white folks that be looking like fucking cockroaches and pigs? Like seriously, man. I can only imagine what would it be like if my family members were like African people as the first people in the family lineage. How different things would be if they wasn't like white people. Like, come on, man. Like, this is sad, y'all. This is sad, soul fam. And this is the reason why a lot of melanated spiritual beings have it the hardest out of any ethnicity of spiritual beings out here. Because melanated spiritual beings that had to grow up in the racist ass South of USA, they suffer so much. It's like, imagine having a father and a mother, man. Imagine having a father and a mother that doesn't take heed to your interests, that doesn't take heed to the things that you're naturally good at. Because last time I checked, a father and a mother is supposed to help their children actually pursue their talents. You know these people that be modeling and all that stuff, man. You know these people that do modeling and etc. things that you don't see people do every day. How come their father and their mother never helped them with that? Why? What reason? Is it envy, jealousy, trauma? Why did the father and the mother did not help their child like to pursue their talents? What reason was it? It has to be trauma or jealousy. One of the two. Like one of the two, y'all. It doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense. I know it's like fathers and mothers that have not healed from their childhood. They tend to have their children grow up in the same places that didn't serve them well at all, bro. And it's crazy, man. Look, man, I know my mother suffered from trauma in her childhood in racist Louisiana. That's the only reason why she had me grow up in the South of Louisiana. That's the only reason. I was birthed out in the western states close to Oregon. But she had me go all the way from California, Oregon area, all the way down to southern states like Louisiana. A place full of racist white people. A place like, because you know Louisiana is a place of melanated people who are whitewashed that will think that a melanated person that has a New Yorker accent as corny. That, you know, it's crazy, man. So me having an accent like people in New Jersey, Rhode Island, New York and all that, I never fit in Louisiana at all. Like literally. So it's like, and it's crazy because this is the reason why I just don't like when individuals try to impose themselves onto me. Like I met people like, you know, shout out to iPhone, because iPhone told me like, you know, people in New York would love me. People in New York would love me because not only that my accent sounds similar to people out in New Jersey, Rhode Island, and New York, you know, in the tri-state area, but also like people in New York are used to vibrant people. You know, a lot of my family members, they're not really used to vibrant people on my mother's side. because a lot of them are baby boomers and Generation X and all that. I come from Gen Z. I come from Generation Z. I came from the first year of Generation Z. So it's like, this shit. And then being a spiritual being from Generation Z, you already know, like, it's hard to, like, maneuver and actually be able to pursue your talents. When a lot of your relatives are like baby boomers and Generation X from the times of like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King era. So it's like, it's hard for them to actually comprehend Generation Z relatives that actually want to pursue their talents and be around the vibrant people that are a match of their frequency. Like, literally, that's what it is, man. But yeah, man, the gist of the story, man, like, anybody that tries to impose themselves onto their own children to not pursue something that the child wants to go for, that stuff is very sad, man. It's sickening. It's sad. Like, literally, what kind of father and mother don't want their children to actually pursue something that they would like to do? I never understood that. That never made sense. Maybe this is like, you know, parents that was birthed in the South. Maybe that's a problem with Southerner parents. I don't know if it's like that with anybody else, but maybe it's a Southerner thing in United States. I don't know if it's like this with other parents out there. I know it's not a problem with the parents out in the states of Trinidad, Haiti, Jamaica, St. Lucia, but the Bahamas, you know, fucking Sierra Leone, Nigeria. I know it's not a problem with them, but for one, it's a problem with the parents, the melanated parents, to be exact, in the southern states of USA, who don't even know their nationalities. Like, you want to know how I figured out I was Caribbean? It took a lot of spiritual research to find out I was a Caribbean nationality person. Like, literally. But that's all I gotta say, y'all.